Hi guys, welcome to your application. Kutemwa here, and today we're talking about grad school application fee waivers. So if you have seen the cost of applying to grad school, it is wow. Some schools charge you almost $200, and imagine you want to apply to like 10 schools. That's easily $2,000 that maybe you don't even have, and that could genuinely be a hindrance. So I'm here to share with you that I applied to 9 schools and I only had to pay for 2, and honestly I could have tried harder and maybe even gotten waivers for those as well. So the point is that there are many ways that you can avoid those fees, and I'll be sharing 3 of them with you with 2 bonus ones today, and I'll be sharing my experience as I go along. So the first biggest thing is I don't want you to apply to a school just because they're giving you a waiver, because I have shared many times. I did a series on the grad school search, but the schools that you apply to literally could make or break your application season. It's important to be very strategic, and of course to apply to schools that genuinely have what you need for your goals and for your time there. So that is really important. So the first thing is first find those schools and then do a deep dive into how you could get those fees waived. So the first way that you can get a waiver is through the program itself or through the school or the website, right? So some schools, they know that fees are expensive and they genuinely don't want that to be a hindrance. So some of them will offer you a waiver and they'll give you a list of qualifications. The first biggest way is if it's genuinely a financial burden, so they might ask you to prove that by sending some documents and stuff. Then the second way is through being part of specific programs. So especially if you're already in the US, like I did my undergrad in the US, there's certain programs that you can be a part of. The biggest one I think is McNair's. I think almost every school will give you a waiver if you're part of the McNair's scholars. The only thing is international students don't qualify, so maybe you are a citizen and you're part of it, you almost always get a waiver for that. But there are also other programs or organizations that you can be a part of, actually even internationally. So I got a waiver because I was part of the National Society of Black Engineers, and I know that they also have like members outside of the US. So as long as you prove membership in that organization, some schools will give you a waiver and other organizations as well. So look into that. It might be worth becoming a member, if it's less than the actual application fee, because application fees are very expensive. But yes, so that's way number 1 is through the school. So go through it and see if you qualify. Some of them don't give waivers to international students. I found a lot of that, and I think they almost always will let you know from the onset that they don't give international students. That's mostly for federal reasons. They're not against you. Sometimes it's just the funding that they're using to pay that you genuinely don't qualify for. So look into that. That's the first thing I did, is I looked into all the schools and so do they give waivers? Do I qualify for those waivers? Because maybe it's an automatic waiver. Okay, so that's the first way. Second way is through taking part in specific programs. So some schools will have programs that are meant to kind of introduce you to their grad school program. I think majority will be for PhD programs, but they will have visit days during the fall. So that's like most of them I think are in October, September, where they like pay for you to go to their school for 2 days, see the school, meet the professors, meet the students. They'll help you with your essays. Sometimes you get to meet the head of admission. So it's very, very, very amazing opportunity. So if you're here again in the US already, I took part in 2 that were in person. So one was Chem Next at the University of Minnesota, so it's obviously chemistry specific. And then I also took part in Experience Cornell. That one was open to all majors and all expenses paid. And really, I really learned a lot from that, and I feel like my applications to those schools were more like grounded because I've been there before, and also they know me because I stayed connected with them. So great opportunity. It's not a guarantee that you get in though, for a fact, I know. Yes, but yes, there are those 2 programs. So in addition to the waiver, it could really help with the rest of your applications as well, because like I said, they give you advice and things like that. But maybe you're not here in the US. I also took part in one that was virtual. So this was Future Ignited at Caltech, and I will link all 3 in the description of this video in case you want to look into them. Maybe you're interested in those schools, but that was virtual. So of course you can take part from wherever you are in the world. But yeah, so that was the same setup. We got to meet the professors, meet the students. We had breakout sessions and stuff, and then everyone who took part got a waiver. So those are not the only 3, of course. I have heard of experiences as well at Northwestern, experiences at University of Pennsylvania, Stanford. So just look in depth into those schools and see what kind of programs they have, because they really genuinely help you in addition to the fee waiver. Then other times, some schools will have an outreach. So for me, my school would have career fairs where there would be grad schools there. Sometimes they'll be handing out waivers at the table. So the point is just be alert and look into the different ways that are there. Sometimes it's just like a program, having a 2-day webinar on grad schools. Most likely they will give you waivers for attending that. So yes, be on the lookout and try to find those ways. So that's number 2. Then the third way that you could get a waiver is just by asking. So most of the times there will be contact information of maybe the head of graduate admissions or something on the website for the program. So you can just email and let them know your situation. So maybe say I'm an international student and I don't qualify, but I genuinely need help with this. Do you have any advice, or is there any other way that I can get a waiver? And they'll respond. So it might be a yes, it might be a no, but at least you tried. And I feel like they will try to find a way to help you, because they genuinely want to attract, I can't speak today. They genuinely want to attract good talent to their school. So just try it. You never know what might come out of it. So those are the 3 ways that you can use. Then the bonus one is through external organizations. So there are many organizations whose goal is to help you to apply to grad school. I've heard of many people who got into great programs where they pay for your applications. Other times you can apply for a grant. So my school has an office that's dedicated to research and internship experiences and grad school. So they do provide help for applications. Or maybe if you work with a professor who helps you and has their own internship, they can also help you. So look into the different ways at your school, maybe, or even outside, of ways that you can get help with your grad school application fees, because that could be a huge help. Then the 5th bonus one is I think more for people who are not applying this year, because I think it's kind of too late, but going for summer programs at the schools that you're interested in. This genuinely could really boost you, because if you spend the summer there, you've already worked with the professor, they know your work ethic, they most likely will want you in their lab for grad school, and then it comes with waivers. So my second year I did an internship at the University of Notre Dame that came with a waiver, automatic waiver. And then my third year I did an internship at the University of California, Davis. That program actually came with waivers to all the UCs. I applied to 3 UCs. So that was really a big help. So if you still have time, apply for summer programs, because of course it will be a huge boost, in every way possible. So if you can do that, do that. So those are 5 possible ways maybe that you can use to get waivers. Like I said, it might not work for all of them, but these schools genuinely want you to be there. So I think they will find ways to help you, and it's up to you to be proactive. And if you're applying this year, this is around May, this is the right time, like I said, to look into those programs. Most of them, the visit programs, most of them have deadlines that are during the summer. Yes, so maybe if you've after you've exhausted all your options, I think fees should be the last thing that stop you from applying to a school. After you've exhausted everything and you've tried and save as much as you can, because it's really worth paying. It's worth spending on, this is your future. So maybe the school that you really love and it's your number one, they don't give you a waiver and you've tried every option that you can try. Save for it and just be very intentional, because really investing in your future will never be a waste. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you have a question, or maybe if you have another way of getting waivers. Let's share our knowledge and grow together. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.